Hey everybody, and welcome back to Elley Knows Rocks. Today I am standing in front of the world's deepest dam, otherwise known as the Parker Dam. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this adventure. Let's go check it out. This is the Parker Dam. The dam straddles the California and Arizona border between the Whipple Mountains in San Bernardino, California, and the Buckskin Mountains in La Paz County, Arizona. Parker Dam stands for a lot of different things. One of the things that it does is it creates a reservoir behind it known as Lake Havasu, and it creates hydroelectric power. As it stands, 73% of the 320-foot structural portion of the dam is below the water surface, meaning that the portion that we're looking at is only 85 feet tall, with the majority of it being below the water. This also makes this dam very iconic because it is one of the only dams where the majority of the dam on both sides is underwater. This dam has quite the geologic history. Although it is placed in the narrowest portion of the river, the engineers that were designing this had to dig down to the depths of 320 feet to find bedrock that was hard enough and structurally sound enough to put the dam on. This gives you a good indication of what it looks like on this side of the Parker Dam when the Colorado River flows through, and what Lake Havasu looks like in the entire depth of the dam down. Gives you a good indication. 62 feet, 85 feet, and then 235 feet is below the water. So it was built in 1934 to 1938. Look how huge it is, and it is narrow. They are not kidding when they say narrow. It is very narrow. It's pretty sweet looking though. Now, respectively speaking, the geology in this area is a lot of basalt and a lot of rhyolite. However, there is a lot of andesite and a lot of andesitic basalt also in this area. Now, bedrock can be any number of very hard rocks that are just below a surface that are structurally sound enough for them to build a dam on. That can also include granites and batholiths that are buried extremely deep under the surface. This is really cool.
Now, one of the things we have to remember about the geology of the area is that most of Lake Havasu City is built on an alluvial fan. That includes the wide spot in the Colorado River known as Lake Havasu. It was easy for the waters to create all of these little pockets and areas and flow through this area so quickly because it's all on a bunch of alluvium. Now, that being said, with the displacement of an alluvial fan means more sediment will settle out somewhere else. So that's one of the reasons they had to dig down so incredibly deep in this area, was to remove all that sediment before they could even touch bedrock.
Now, since the building of this dam, it has allowed the reservoir and the water on both sides of the dam to supply water to more than 15 million people. It's amazing what damming up an area can do. But could you imagine coming to this area going, oh, we're gonna put a dam in, it can't be that deep, and then having to dig down 320 feet and to pour that much concrete? That would be insane. Well, that is. We can't get down there. That's access for like government employees only, or people that work for CAP, I imagine. Look at all of this. Look at the infrastructure. And can you imagine bringing in that much concrete in order to make sure this entire place was put together? So I know that people like freak out about like power and energy and overuse of power and that kind of thing, but everything that we do in life requires some form of energy. So hydro-generated energy allows the water that has already been built up to flow through something via gravity.
And those somethings are known as penstock. As the water flows through, it spins the blade of a turbine, in which spins a generator that ultimately produces power. And then that power is sent through electrical lines to various locations. At that point, how they determine who gets what amount of power based on where they live, I have no idea. But it's how we get power.
These are man-made wonders, being known as the deepest dam in the world. That is so amazing. And just the fact that they had to find the right geology, bedrock, whatever it was at the time. Hopefully I can figure this out by some more research, but my preliminary research doesn't tell me anything about the actual geology that the dam is being placed on, other than they had to dig through the Colorado River bed, which was probably a lot of sediment, gravel layers and stuff like that. You can't build a dam on that stuff, that'll slip out from underneath of it. Plus holding that much water back. Lake Havasu can hold 647,000 acre-feet of water. So the dam is holding back a lot of pressure, especially given the fact that if you think about the pressure as you go deeper in the water and coming up to the surface, I mean, it's exponential. And so the deeper you get just by feet, plus that many acre-feet of water behind it, I don't even know the math behind how much pressure that dam is holding back, but you know it has to be engineered to the T. So bravo to those people back in the 1930s that did this. I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining me on this mini adventure of the world's deepest dam, the Parker Dam in Parker, Arizona. If you are ever in this area in Lake Havasu, or if you're passing through, if you live here, whatever it may be, I encourage you to go check it out. Things like this need to be visited. You need to see it with your own eyes, just so you can have that awe factor all on your own. I'll see you on the next one.